Hi guys. So for a few days, I've been experiencing few of my thoughts, and I'd never had any kind of attachment with those kind of thoughts. It's just that everything I thought just popped up just like that. So 2 days back, I was asking few proofs, and I am not one of those people who keep on asking God for proofs that whatever I am manifesting, whether it's really happening or not. So as in, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not one of those people who keep on doubting or keep on seeking validation in the 3D. I mean, I was also there at some point of time, some 2-3 years back, when I was manifesting something else, but then I learned that seeking validation never helps anything. So I eventually learned that you just have to keep going on. You just have to affirm, live in the end. There might be ups and downs, but then you have to stick to the end. So that's what I've been doing all this while. So there have been other things which I manifested quite effortlessly. So some of them were so unconscious feelings, but so less of resistance it was attached to. I mean, I had no resistance attached to those things. So a few days back, so I was supposed to go somewhere, and I had few contingencies attached to going somewhere, because my brother was not well, and then I had few deadlines to meet in my professional life. So, and my brother stays not in India, he stays outside for some studies, so for higher studies actually. So that's the reason that it's been really a pleasure to spend time with my brother and my family, and things have been so effortless. So that day, the incident I'm talking about, that day he was really sick, and there was no way that we could go out the next day, and I had taken holidays just for my brother, to spend time with my little brother. But then I don't know how it just happened. When he was sleeping, while resting, he just told me this thing: you know what, I just want to go out somewhere tomorrow, maybe somewhere where there's water, and it's raining here, the place I stay. So there was no way that this could happen, but I just said that, yeah, I have taken a holiday for you, just so I could spend time, and you're now sick. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but let's hope for the best. And these are some of the words, I didn't even tell him. I just knew that maybe it's gonna happen, and I was happy about everything. I was not anxious. I had no attachment to the outcome. I just knew that even if I am spending time with my brother at home, I'm quite fine with it. But then I knew that this was for sure, that I wanted to go out, and unconsciously that desire was always there inside of me. And I don't know how, the next day he got up and he was perfectly fine. There was no fever in his body. There was no vomiting, nauseous feeling, because the day before that he was vomiting so much, and he was perfectly fine, and all the illness which was there inside his body just healed miraculously. So this was one of the incident which happened. Then the second incident was, so let me tell you this, that right now we are going through a brief period of no contact with my SP. So it's this thing, few days before I had shared a note with him, and I have not been talking to this person, my SP, for last 2 months. And what happened was, I just felt like sharing a note few days back, and I mean, I got to know from someone, that too when I was not even seeking validation for it. I got to know from someone that he's not been sleeping, and not just for few days, for quite some time. And that day, the day when so for the last 2 months, we have not been talking to each other, and that was because he had hurt me by saying few things, and so I thought to keep my boundaries on, and I knew that nothing is going to affect my manifestation. In fact, if this happened, then this means that this is a bridge of incident which is happening, and that's going to make us end up together in a happy committal relationship and marriage with each other. So I knew that. So I did get hurt when that happened, but I healed myself, and I'm quite better than what I was doing, and things have got better in my vibration, and I know that things are always working out for me. There's always movement happening, and so these are some of the things. And I just got to know from someone, or you can say something, that he's not been sleeping for last 2 months. Not been sleeping means like he's been either sleeping at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, like which is not even a time to sleep. So, and he had met with an accident few months back, and he went through surgery. So it's been really a hard time for both of us. So it could be that was the triggering reason, and our past could be the reason, like him and me past could be the reason why this happened the way it happened. But I don't want to talk about circumstance, so I'm just trying to explain that was the triggering point why it could happen. And I know that when something reaches, there's a bell curve for everything. If you have, I don't know if you are a statistics student or anything, but bell curve is a very common curve. If you want, you can just go and check in the Google. So there's a bell curve. So when anything reaches to the peak, then that's a good signal that, you know what, the bad time has reached the peak. So now it's gonna come down. So that's the hope, and things change. So if you're going through a very bad time, things do change. So that's what I was trying to say. So after sharing that note, that day was the only day he slept properly, like someone told me. And the next day also, like, it was pretty much good. He did sleep. After that, he has not been sleeping, because like after that I didn't share any messages, because I didn't want to. I have fixed this thing inside my mind that I'm not going to cross my boundaries. I'm not going to chase this person no matter what. He's gonna come to get me back. So that's the reason. So, and there's always a reason why something is happening. So it might not be visible to you right now, but things are always happening for your own good and to get you what you actually desire. So that's a good sign. That's a positive sign. And we should always be hopeful, and we should always be, hope is a very light word, I would say. We should always be confident in what we want, because God has given us these desires. And so this was the second thing which I wanted to say. And so when I sent a note, in fact I was very afraid to send that note, because but some of my friends, and like as I said, that I had consulted ChatGPT as well before sending this note to him. So, and all of them were like, go for it. That's never a bad thing to express emotions, and that too, you're not blaming this person. You're just trying to communicate with this person, and that's a good sign. That's a healthy sign of a relationship. And you know what? Some circumstance come in our life to strengthen the relationship. So even if you're not in talking terms with this person, if you're clearing out things, if you're clearing out your point of views and your side, you're at least making that person, like that person comes to know, okay, so these are my boundaries. I'm not gonna cross this because she's not comfortable with it, or he's not comfortable with it. So your partner will know what you don't like, and they will not repeat it, because that's what a healthy relationship should be. And the third thing which I manifested effortlessly, I would say that's not a good manifestation. I just had a random thought that somebody in US will make headlines, and it did the next day, just the next day. And like, it was not a good thing. It was like, my point was, it was not about a good incident or a bad incident, but because I was not specific, so that I think that bad the bad news came into the news. And also one more thing which happened was, I don't know, like few days back, me and my brother were talking about COVID-19, and somehow this US and COVID-19 popped up in my head. And today I got a news that Joe Biden has COVID-19, and I was like, oh my god, shit. I mean, I'm not manifesting these things, but since so one of my brothers stay in US, and there has been a lot of talk in our family for some days about US. So US is in my head right now, and some of you guys know that I'm from India, so yeah, so that's why I'm not an American. So, but the reason why US is popping in my head or my subconscious mind, I'm stating you those reasons. And maybe why I'm getting these bad news is because maybe I am a bit upset, so it could be the reason. And yeah, so what I was trying to just state through all of these things is that everything is in your subconscious mind. So nothing is happening outside of you. Everything is happening through you. So the more you control your emotions, and by controlling your emotions, I'm not trying to say that if you want to cry, suppress your crying and then hold on to positive affirmations only. I don't mean that, and I will never say that, because if you want to cry, please cry. If you want to vent out, please vent out, but don't make it a habit that like if I'm crying, then that means my manifestation is not going to come to me. That's not how it works. That's what I'm trying to say, that observe your emotions, but don't attach meanings to it, to that this is not happening or that is not happening. So if you and your person are not talking right now at this point of time, that too has a reason. This isolation has a reason. I think the more spiritual you become, the less pain you feel. And I won't say that this the feeling of not talking to your person will vanish. No, it's not gonna happen that ways, but it becomes easier, and your understanding towards your person and this relationship also becomes very good. So the more spiritual you become, the more the more you read Bible and Gita, you get those matured understanding and those point of view which God wants to tell you at this point of situation. So sometimes I just get this random feeling, read Isaiah 54 of Bible, and I read it, and I can totally relate to that situation, and I know that's how God is speaking to me. So you must have some kind of a safe place wherein you can go back to. And to my opinion, and to anybody's opinion, and even to God's opinion, a human being cannot give you a safe place all the time, because they have their own moods, they have their own problems, but God can. That's why hold on to hope, read Bible or Gita, or if you are a Muslim, then read Quran. You must have something to go back to. You must have something to hold on to your hopes. And human beings don't give you hope, God gives you hope. And so that's it. Thank you.